So I'm just kind of tell you that, I didn't put much stock in saving the rainforest and global warming and all that stuff. At least not initially. Now then, back to my question. Did any of you think about Brazil today? Anybody? I don't see one gentleman. Two. Maybe there's 3 or 4. So out of, I don't know how many people's here. Is there 1,000 here? 3 or 4 thought about Brazil. Why did so few think about Brazil? Why didn't all of us think about Brazil today? Probably because we don't think Brazil affects our life. I mean, after all, I looked it up today. I Googled. Brazil is 5,954 miles from L.A., from California. 6,000 miles. Who cares? Yet, okay, I've got a purpose in telling you this, okay? It's not just a geography or a science lesson here. Science says that 20% of all rainwater, I've been here a week. I've hardly seen the sun shine twice. I thought y'all lived in the rainforest. Beatingest thing I ever seen. I mean, I knew it rained in Seattle a lot, but I thought we were in California. So, now think with me, this rain that we've been having, that was well needed and glad it came. Scientists say that 20% of all rainwater originates from the Amazon River basin. That means that 20% of the rain that fell on Stockton for the last week came up originally as water vapor out of the Amazon River, which is primarily in the nation of Brazil. My point is this. What happens in Brazil really does matter to us. We're interconnected. Our lifestyle. Now, do you know why so much water and rain vapor goes up from Brazil? Because of Brazil's rainforest. It gives off the moisture and the oxygen. It creates clouds, and that's why there's so much moisture in Brazil, is because Brazil has been, for a few thousand years, covered by rainforest. And so the rain that we're enjoying in Singapore, the rain that you're enjoying in Stockton, at least 1/5 of it came from Brazil. So if Brazil loses its rain, we're going to have a drought in Singapore. You say, well, what in the world are you talking about? Well, our lifestyle. I told you we're interconnected. Our lifestyle, what we buy and spend and use, impacts Brazil. Because when we want to buy more stuff and we need more boxes to put it in, they cut down trees in Brazil. They cut down the rainforest so that they can grow more beef because we love meat. Now, I'm not fussing, okay? Some of y'all are looking at me like y'all want me to go home or something. I'm not fussing. I'm telling you that we don't think about it. But our buying habits, the world. I read that yesterday that China, I believe it was China and India, they said that if we go into recession, some people had said, never mind, China and India will make up the difference. But China and India's economy only buys about $7 trillion worth. Do you know what? If my figures are correct, if I remember, they said, but America's economy consumes 27 trillion. In other words, the global economy is still run by us. And because we want stuff, they cut down rainforest in Brazil to make factories, to make stuff cheap so we can get what we want. Again, this isn't a commentary on right or wrong. Apparently, the amount of rainforest impacts the rain and the weather patterns of the world. I've come to the conclusion that there is something going on. Now, not immediately. You cut down a few acres, no big deal. It's not noticeable at first, but it does and eventually shows. Hear me. I said all that to say, if it's true ecologically, it's true spiritually. The natural world declares the spirit world. The visible declares the invisible. So I am going back and I'm saying the physical realm mirrors the spiritual realm. If we are connected in the natural world, then we are interconnected in the spiritual world. Our world prayers often don't seem to be having much impact at first. It's kind of like we don't think it matters about our spending habits. We don't think it matters that they cut down a few acres of the rainforest. It doesn't make much of an impact at first. And sometimes our prayers, we don't see immediate results of our praying. But I'm asking you this year to set some big prayers in your heart. And I'm asking you to keep at it. I'm asking you to be like Daniel, that if you pray 10 days and nothing happens, keep praying. If you pray 15 days and nothing happens, keep praying. If you pray 20 days and nothing happens, pray one more day. Because Daniel didn't get anywhere for 21 days. For 20 days, Daniel's prayers seemed to be useless. Didn't seem like he was having any impact on his world. And then on the 21st day, his consistent, persistent prayer hit a tipping point, and bam, angels appeared. 20 days, nada, nothing, zero, kosong. Oh, that's Malay. You don't know that. And then all of a sudden, angels show up. Messages are delivered. Prayer was made evident. Prayer was made visible. I'm asking you, CLC, in the year 2008, get your prayer direction. Get some things that God puts in your heart. Let your spiritual authorities give you some prayer targets. And then I want you to take aim, and I want you to hammer away. I want you to come back day after day after day after day. Because if you send up vapor from here, it will come back. In January or February of 2003, I don't remember exactly, God spoke to me about praying for the capture of a noted terrorist, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Was on a list of those that they were trying to capture. I'm just going to tell you my experience. I'm not trying to impress you, except to say that anyone, anywhere, can be an instrument in God's hands to impact this world. We're thinking much too small. We're thinking much too small. So God says, I want you to pray that he'll get captured. I don't know. I'd never had that feeling before, but just one morning in morning prayer, God said, he said, I want you to make this a matter of prayer. Now, my specialty is not long-term praying. I'm just being honest with you. I've got a one-track mind, so I'm good. I mean, if you get me praying on this right now, I can tear it up. But I'm probably going to forget in a day or two. Now, my wife, she's a bulldog. I mean, she just keeps praying and praying and praying. But I'm learning that aspect. I'm learning it from people like Brother Stone King. Because Brother Stone King every day stands. And the Muslims, if you go to a hotel room in my part of the world, they have in that room, they call it a qiblat. I believe is how you say it. It's an arrow. And you'll look at the ceiling of your hotel, and you will find an arrow pointing, and it's always pointing toward Mecca. And so that's where in your hotel room,